I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here with the Fey Enchantress and her Grail companions, going to be facing up against the High Elves. This is the first game of the best of 5 that I played with Professor Pone a few weeks ago on Turn's channel. This was the best game that we played in that series, in my opinion, so I'm very excited to bring it to you guys. So let's jump straight to the army compositions. Of course, I've got the Fey Enchantress. She's carrying the Chalice of Potions, Favor of the Fae. We've also got Flesh to Stone and Earthblood, as well as, of course, the Mist of the Lady. One unit of Grail Guardians and a Grail Relic here in the center. We've got a front line of 4 Peasant Mobs, backed up by 3 Spearmen-at-Arms with shields and 2 Men-at-Arms, just the regular unshielded variant. We've got 1 more Spearmen-at-Arms with shields protecting the Blessed Field Trebuchet here. And we do have the obligatory 3 Grail Knights, so 1 here, 1 holding this flank here, and 1 on the far side. So, for Professor Pone's army, he's got a very good anti-Bretonnian build, in my opinion. He's got 5 units of Spearmen here, with 2 Lothern Sea Guard, a Prince on a Star Dragon, Mage with High Magic, who looks to be carrying Apotheosis, let's see, Fiery Convocation, as well as Tempest. He's also got the Book of Hoeth and Starwood Staff for that additional regeneration, and 2 units of Dragon Princes. Make that 3, actually. So he's got 2 here, and 1 over on the far side. So, let's go ahead and kick things into full gear, and watch what happens. So right off the bat, we're going to be doing some firing away with the Field Trebuchet, and unfortunately, the Field Trebuchet, one of the biggest issues with it is it's extremely inaccurate. So you'll have a hard time making solid contact on single units. If they're kind of bunched up together, you should be able to make decent contact, but we're going to be switching our targets onto the Lothern Sea Guard since they're a relatively severe risk to my low armor peasants. And they're really the most expensive infantry in my opponent's army here. We're going to be targeting them, and meanwhile, Professor Pone just patiently waiting with these 2 Dragon Princes here. He is going to be moving forward here, and I did manage to spot this one. So we're going to be able to countercharge here with these Grail Knights who are currently hidden. But we are going to be kind of pushing up to take a defensive position here and just wait for the Elves to come to us. We've been able to get a couple solid hits there on that Lothern Sea Guard. But here in the forest, Professor Pone is not going to be able to spot my forces before I get the charge order on him. And so we are going to catch these Dragon Princes pretty much on the back foot here. You can see the Grail Knights charging in here. They're going to be doing a ton of damage with that magic damage and the anti-large bonus, of course. Catching these guys on the back foot, they're already doing a ton of damage right off the bat. You can see this Dragon's flying forward. He's going to be getting a nasty breath attack on these Grail Guardians here, so fortunately I was a little bit late to react. I could have potentially dodged most of the Dragon Breath if I had gotten out of the way fast enough, but it's pretty obvious what he was doing too as well, just flying up on the side there, but he is going to get a shot on the Grail Knights, the Grail Guardians rather, and takes out a ton of them, which is huge. 15 unit models on a very expensive unit like that. We are going to drop an Earthblood to try and, heal the rest of the unit models that are left. And just kind of get a general charge all across the board here. With the Peasant Mobs breaking the bracing bonus of the Spearmen here, I don't know that they'll actually get a bracing bonus against the Grail Guardians, but even still, all across the line, the Peasants are crashing into the High Elf Spearmen here. They'll obviously get severely outclassed, but, any kills they can get here is going to be basically for free. Meanwhile, in this back line here, we're going to be getting another engagement between Grail Knights and Dragon Princes here on the Clash of Elite Cav, and in addition, 1 more engagement here with, again, Grail Knights and Dragon Princes. This one's got 1 unit of Spearmen-at-Arms mixed in there as well for support, so it should go well for me. Unfortunately, the lady here is getting sniped hardcore by the Star Dragon, so she's having to, kind of use her moves and cut around a little bit. We have dispatched the Grail Guardians here for protection, so they're going to be trying to pin this prince in and not allow him to get on the lady and take her down. If we can keep the lady alive, we should be able to win this fight just through sheer attrition. You can see we are winning out against the Dragon Princes there. Unfortunately, the Dragon Princes over on this side are still holding their leadership together. I need these guys to crumble as soon as possible because I need those Grail Knights over in this fight over here. But we have mostly dealt with this 1 unit of Lothern Sea Guard with that Field Trebuchet, so that's basically paid for itself at this point. But the Spearmen continuing to hold the line here. This 1 Grail Guardian still mixed in here. But the main fight is happening here with this Star Dragon here, again, being crashed into by the Grail Guardians and the Spearmen-at-Arms here, just holding for support. We're getting that nice Earthblood to keep those Grail Guardians nice and healthy. And yeah, over on this side, unfortunately, some spearmen did win that infantry engagement against the peasants there, and then came to support up against this unit of ground knights. So we did lose one unit of ground knights there. This unit of ground knights as well has pretty much beat those dragon princes at this point, but now with all these other units coming in for support, they're going to have a really hard time holding together. These ground knights did rally, and we're getting some peasants rallying here in this center area as well, so we should be able to bring them back. But again, this dragon's just not able to get effective hits on the lady, just being soaked up by these Grail Guardians and the Spearmen at Arms with shields. We should be able to wear them down through sheer attrition at this point. Flesh to stone here on these men at arms, giving them 90 armor, meaning they're going to take a lot less damage from those spearmen. The Mist of the Lady as well. It's not really great to have the lady in here fighting up against these spearmen. She's also going to potentially take a lot of missile fire here, which is really bad. But I was just trying to get the Mist of the Lady to drain these guys. Honestly, it probably would have been better to just keep her back and away from this fight, but you can see the Grail Knights from the far forest finally being pulled in here and going to be able to crash into these Hive Spearmen on the far side. Another Earthblood going down. It looks like didn't actually catch those Grail Knights, unfortunately, but we have regrouped a lot of forces here in the rear, so we're going to be now inundating this unit of spearmen here, and they should be able to be surrounded and destroyed by peasants. Going to get a nice charge here, and since the Dragon Princess didn't have a charge order on me, we are going to be able to hopefully finish that one unit off. They're dropping very, very quickly, and then turn our attention over to this other unit here. We also have spearmen on support on station, so they should be coming in shortly. Another Dragon Breath there takes out a few of those Grail Knights, kills maybe 3 or 4 of them. But just trying to keep things secure, I decided to pull back. I still have this healthy group of spearmen at arms here, so I'm going to kind of take up a defensive position here as the rest of my forces kind of fight piecemeal here. We're going to try and use up the last of the ammo on the Blessed Field Trebuchet. So Apotheosis now going down on these Dragon Princes here, getting some really nice value, and I should have probably been a little bit more aggressive in trying to take down that mage with the high magic, but the dragon now coming down, going to immediately terrify away those peasants. But really at this point we're just trying to regroup all the Grail units over on this part of the battlefield just to keep that Field Trebuchet safe. It's done quite a bit of damage, honestly. For its cost, it's probably about paid for itself. It's been able to just get a lot of work done on both these units of Lothern Seaguard. Unfortunately, neither of them are broken at the moment, but we are going to be crashing through here with these Grail Guardians, and although they don't have the best charge bonus, of course they will do a lot of impact damage, and with that Flesh to Stone, I believe they have a Flesh to Stone there, yeah, they're up to 180 armor, so even those Dragon Princes are going to struggle to do any damage here with the 180 armor and the physical resistance there, so unfortunately, though, the dragon is roaming. He's got his sights set on the lady here, so we're going to have to get some really, really good micro in this situation. What you want to try and do is do hard cutbacks in one direction or the other. So you see, whichever direction the charge order comes down in, you want a hard cut at a 90-degree or more angle away from the charge animation. That way you won't take the charge damage, but unfortunately it's going to be really hard for me to do that while microing the rest of these troops here. 1 or 2 hits on the lady is going to be enough to send her routing, so 1 hit there takes about half of her remaining HP, and the Grail Knight's just barely barely not able to prevent that attack animation from going off, rather. But we are going to be dropping that Earthblood there, healing these guys up, going into the Spearmen too, just trying to drain them with the Mist of the Lady there. This center pocket still holding very well. These Grail Guardians with their 60+ melee defense, or 56 melee defense. Let's see, yeah, 56 melee defense. They are going to be holding this centered pocket very well. They've actually been able to rout off these Dragon Princes here, and these other 2 very tattered units of Grail Knights are going to be coming back to the fight as well. We've got some peasants fighting on the far side still, and that Blessed Field Trebuchet is still firing away, still able to use most of its ammo here, and hopefully won't be getting too much friendly fire, but unfortunately at this point, 1 more attack animation on the Fanchantress is pretty much going to put her down, so it's very, very heated at this point, trying to keep this dragon away from the lady. The dragon's taking a lot of damage. He's about half HP left, but it just depends on if we can keep him on the ground or not. These Dragon Prince is being used very well to screen out the Star Dragon here, so unfortunately he is going to be able to get back up in the air, but yeah. We are going to be able to finish off these Dragon Princes, though, and once they're gone, it's pretty much just a couple tattered units of Spearmen and this Dragon here. He decided to charge down right into my Knights here, trying to support these Dragon Princes before they go down, so we're going to turn all these anti-large troops and just immediately focus on this prince here. You can see he's taking quite a bit of damage, down to about a quarter HP left. So at this point, it's very, very close. If we can finish off that Star Dragon, that's pretty much the game. Unfortunately, the Fey Enchantress is kind of in here. She was doing a little bit of draining with the Mystical Lady, but those Dragon Princes should be going down shortly, and it's just a matter of, can we hold this Star Dragon on the ground? If he gets back up in the air, it's going to be really hard for me, because one charge animation on the Fey Enchantress, one solid charge is going to knock me out of the fight here. But the Knights of Bretonnia doing their very best, and a very decisive Apotheosis going down here. Going to be able to replenish that Star Dragon, and watch the balance of power. Each time his health ticks back up from that Apotheosis, the balance of power is going to tick more and more in Professor Pone's favor, and it's going to start to look really rough for me. He's still doing a really good job here, honestly. And if we're able to actually rout this prince off, even if he does get another healing, we should be able to finish him off. It's so close at this point, honestly. I really was on the edge of my seat at this point. I'm going to get an Earthblood here as well to just replen all these Knights and Spearmen at Arms here. We're a little bit blobbed up, but the Dragon Prince is so low now at this point. He's got barely 1,000 HP left, and unfortunately barely squeaks back up into the air. So at this point, it's very, very dangerous. If he comes down onto the ground and kills the Fey Enchantress, I will very likely lose. We might be able to finish him off, though, so it's still anyone's game at this point. But he is going to come down and get a charge there. He does connect on that animation, and the Fey Enchantress is sent off terrified, unfortunately, with only 153 hit points left. However, we do have, of course, the Grail Knights coming in here. They're lancing this dragon in the back here. He's down to, what, 930 hit points? Almost below 900 at this point, but we're going to immediately just collapse everything into this Spearman and try and take it down as quickly as possible. But one more Apotheosis to heal this guy up, and it's going to be really hard for me to kill him. We do manage to break that unit of Lothern Sea Guard, and again, just inundating this dragon with as many of these anti-large troops as possible. It's just so close at this point, but he's down to 680 hit points, but a lot of my peasant units are having issues with terror, as you can see at this point, and the Grail Knight units are just too low. We do manage to rout off that prince, which is a huge break for me, but unfortunately I don't pursue, and if I had pursued with my Grail Knights and managed to kill this guy, it might have turned out a little bit differently. But at this point, the balance of power is starting to swing more and more in the High Elves' favor, as the Fey Enchantress is almost off the map. She rallies just before the white line there, but she's not going to have the leadership or the magic to be able to really make a difference at this point. We get one desperate rear charge on this unit of Spearmen here, trying to spring them, my Spearmen at Arms, free. These Spearmen at Arms over here are relatively healthy, however their leadership is somewhat shaky, and they will definitely be weak to the terror of the dragon. We do manage to rout this Spearman off, so we're going to collapse now on coming this way. Professor Pone looking like he wants to land there, but deciding not to very wisely. If he would have landed right there, I would have collapsed on both sides with the Grail Knights, and he would have pretty much been done for at that point. Still only 580 hit points. Looks like no healing has been dropped there, but the Starwood Staff and the Book of Hoeth both being used by the Mage of High Magic, so potentially, yep, there goes one last Apotheosis, and that is going to be the dagger to the balance of power in terms of finishing things off here. We are going to try and finish off this High Mage, but a little bit too late there. If we'd been able to finish her off before she got that last Apotheosis, we might have won there, but with that Apotheosis, the dragon leadership is recovered and confident again, and he's going to be able to charge down in here and finish off these units of Grail Knights. So, very close battle. It is going to be a just absolutely razor-thin defeat for Bretonnia, but very well played to Professor Pone. And hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. It was definitely one of the more cinematic and beautiful battles, and also incredibly close. Very good battle for Professor Pone. He played very well in terms of just really aggressively sniping out that lady there. And yeah, with her gone, we unfortunately just weren't able to hold things together by a razor-thin margin. But let's go ahead and take a look at the army breakdown. In terms of my forces, you can see the Grail Knights acquitted themselves very, very well. And this is exactly what you want in this type of build. XP chevrons all the way across the board. 3 XP chevrons and 77 kills on this unit of Grail Knights. 1 XP chevron here, 2 here, and another 1 here. 100 kills on the Blessed Field Trebuchet. Very good stuff. The Spearmen at Arms, you know, in certain situations actually got quite a few kills. 51 and 45 against relatively elite troops is decent. And I'm not sure how these peasant mobs got 26 kills, if 26 elves just fell over and the peasant mobs claimed credit for it, but For Professor Pone, those Dragon Princes actually did very, very well for themselves. Obviously, this one that got caught on the back hoof got destroyed, but 121 kills and 3 chevrons on this unit of Dragon Princess, 1 chevron and 27 here. These guys did very, very well, and of course, the MVP is the Dragon Prince, the Star Dragon, 156 kills, and just absolutely clutch in taking out that lady. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. I know I sure enjoyed playing it. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.